Hello everybody, welcome back to Steve's Gear. So today we're going to take a look at the new Olight Seeker 4 Pro. Now in the past I have reviewed the Olight Seeker 3 Pro, so we'll make some comparisons between the two and then we'll go over the new stuff with the Seeker 4 Pro. Shout out to Olight, thank you for sending this out to me a couple weeks in advance so I could take a look at it and get a review done for it. So we'll take a look at the box. On the front obviously you get this picture here. Now this one is in the cool white. So it looks like there will be a neutral white one available. It's kind of a little logo there. On the back side, you do have some of the specs of the light. We'll go over some of them during the review. And then you just get the little logo. So you get a nice little magnetic box. I always like Olight's packaging. You do get a nice little message there. You get a little card here that talks about removing the insulating film, battery indicator, and using the lockout feature. But we'll go over that stuff during the review. We'll just get the light in here, so we'll pull that out. Now I have pulled all this stuff out and kind of tested it, so this is just kind of an unboxing for dramatic effects with everything back in the box. You do get one little accessory pack here. And then underneath the little foam insert, you do get another accessory pack. And then you get a nice little thank you from Olight. So we'll set all that stuff to the side. Now, in this flat accessory pack here, you're going to get a couple of your accessories. You're going to get a pack of screws, which is something that's not extremely common in your Olights. You're going to get a charging cable. Let's see if we can get this out of the box here. Fat fingers, don't fail me now. All right. So you're going to get your safety and warning pamphlet and your user manual. And then you're going to get your charging cable, which is actually a USB-C and a USB-A cable, which is a little bit different than the Seeker 3. Now inside this accessory pack, you're actually going to get a wall mount. So we'll take a look at the reason for the wall mount here in just a second. So we'll go ahead and take a look at the light. Right off the bat, you're going to notice that we have a new holster. So this one is pretty cool. This one's got some cool tricks. So the Seeker 3 had like a nylon fabric type holster. This one you get a nice heavy duty, I feel it's kind of maybe like Codex. But this one actually has the charger built into the holster. So you're going to be able to just plug in USB-C, plug it into a USB-A port, and you can actually charge the light right from the holster. So that's pretty cool. I think that's a pretty cool option. Now inside this box you do get this little mount. And you can attach it by 3M tape. It does come with an extra piece of tape. And then the screws is what this is for. So it does have two little holes here, so you can actually drill this in and mount it to like a wall or a dresser, a nightstand, something like that, which is a pretty cool option. Now the wall mount basically just works off this clip, which would be what you'd use to attach it to a belt or maybe some type of strap, and you could just slide it right in, kind of hooks in there. Now when it's mounted, you could obviously just pull the light out of it and use it, or it's pretty easy to just push this little clip back and then it just slides right out. So pretty cool. I think this mount's pretty awesome. It's nice that they included it right in the package. Kind of gives you a lot of versatility. And here's how I decided to use it. Alright guys, real quick. Sorry it's kind of noisy out, but I just wanted to show you kind of how I had that mount set up. So what I did is I went ahead and just stuck it with the double-sided tape right to the side of my center console. Now possibly in the future I may drill it in. I just kind of want to get it tested out as far as how I like it for riding around like that and accessibility. But I think right now it's a pretty good spot. So what I can do is I can actually just take the light in the holster and just slide it right in there and it'll hold it just fine. And then I can use the charging cable. I could just plug it right into there and charge it up as I'm going if I need to. Or you can just ride right there. Pretty sturdy. I think everything will work fine. When I need to use the holster, I can just push the button and slide it right out. So pretty cool. All right, so you saw how I kind of decided to use it. I'm not sure if that's exactly how I'm going to continue to use it, but it was just an idea, something I kind of wanted to do. All right, so we'll take a little bit closer look here at the holster. So if we pull the light out of it, you're going to notice inside you do have the charging coil down there on the bottom. Now on the bottom of the light, you're going to get two rings here for the charging coil. You're going to get that big outer ring, which is what's going to be making contact with the holster. And then you're going to get that smaller inner ring, which is actually going to be just like your standard Olight charger. So you can use this if you have like their charging dock, or you have, you know, regular charging cable. So you can use either way. Now the bottom is magnetic, so you do get a little extra retention in there. Even though the holster has pretty good retention, when you put the light in, you can kind of hear it snap right into place, and it holds it in there. I mean, it's not going to come out. It's pretty darn sturdy. I did wear this on the belt when I took it out for do some beam shots, and it worked just fine. Worked great. Pulling it out worked great. Putting it in worked great. Obviously, you just got to get used to, you know, got to get used to the function of it. But I think if you carried it a few times, you would be just fine. So that's pretty much it for the holster. Now, as far as the light goes, it's going to look pretty reminiscent of the Seeker 3 if you had the Seeker 3. If you've never had a Seeker light before, now you do have this big dial here on the front, and it has an auto lockout feature. So once the light is inactive for 10 seconds, you actually have to spin this dial until both of these sets of LEDs light up. And then that basically unlocks it to be able to be used. Now the LED on the left indicates your brightness level. The LED on the right indicates your battery level. So if you spin it, you can see I'm on basically medium mode and I have full battery. Now this one has a cool option where you're able to actually spin this and adjust the brightness while the light is off, which was not an option on the Seeker 3 Pro. And I kind of touch on it just a little bit in the beam shot, but it's a pretty good little option here. Now on the handle, you do get a rubber grip that goes all the way around, has little finger grooves, and you do get the Olight logo there. Now kind of set into the rubber, you get the Seeker 4 Pro logo, which is kind of cool. And on this side, you get 4,600 lumens at 260 meters. So it's kind of subtle. I like how they did that. You know, it's not really flashy. It's just, it is on there, but you know, it doesn't really stand out too much. Now on the bottom of the light, the Seeker 3 had a lanyard attachment spot. If you like lanyards, unfortunately I didn't make it over to the Seeker 4. If we unscrew the bottom, you're going to notice you have a pretty good sized battery. So this is a 21700 battery, 5000 milliamp hours. So good sized battery. These things battery life lasts a pretty long time. You do get a little bit of a rubber gasket right there for some water resistance, which is nice. And you get those set of 4 LEDs right there on the top, kind of with a little bit of a crown right there. Now let's go ahead and pull in the Seeker 3 so I can kind of show you a little bit of the differences right next to each other. So this is the Seeker 3. It came in this nylon style case. So definitely a little bit of an upgrade with the new style one. Now if we look at the Seeker 3 and the Seeker 4, they're pretty much identical size-wise. I think the Seeker 4 may be just a hair longer, but pretty much they're around the same size. Now as far as these dials goes, I was kind of mentioning that the Seeker 4 or Seeker 3, well, I did have a good dial. The LEDs were kind of small and they weren't quite as easy to see, and it didn't have quite as much texture around the ring. So, you know, using gloves and stuff, while you could get it to work, it definitely is an improvement on the Seeker 4. It's a lot more aggressive and a little bit larger. Plus that new style LED is way more easier to see. And then you can barely see the icons on the Seeker 3 for the brightness and the battery level. I do like how they have them printed a little bit larger on the Seeker 4. And then the Seeker 3, you know, as far as it did have the rubber grip, but the rubber grip didn't go all the way around. So like on this one, the finger grooves go all the way around the back. This one kind of was just on the sides. So I do like the new rubber grip on this one. Plus this one, I was always kind of concerned maybe over some heavy use. You know, it could start to peel or something. I don't know if it really would, but they just basically eliminated that from happening on the Seeker 4. And then you do get the little bit less branding on the front. I like the more sleek look of just this versus all this written on here. So that's just me. Now that's that lanyard spot that I was talking about on the Seeker 3. I just didn't make it over to the Seeker 4. Now there was a pocket clip available for the Seeker 3, and I do have it, but I didn't grab it. Honestly, I never used it. You know, this light was a little bit bigger than I wanted to carry in the pocket, and I normally just use the holster. But it does look like you do have the grooves in here. I think that clip will probably work in there. The grooves do look fairly similar. Now like the tops, like I was saying, you get those 4 LEDs in there. Pretty much they look the same, but there is one function on here that's different. So if you look in the Seeker 3, you're going to notice a little bit of a proximity sensor right there. The proximity sensor has been eliminated on the Seeker 4, which for me isn't a big deal. I never had a problem with the proximity sensor on the Seeker 3, but I didn't really ever have any function for it. You know, this light is pretty much an outdoors or a vehicle type light for me. So I never was really in close proximity of something when I turned it on. So I don't really think that, I don't really think it's a big loss losing that. But I don't think you gain anything either by losing it, in just my opinion. Now, we're going to go ahead and compare some beam shots here in a second. As far as power output goes, these ones are pretty similar in power. The main difference between the two of these ones is the Seeker 3 Pro came in a max turbo mode of 4200 lumens and 250 meter throw. And then the Seeker 4 Pro comes in at a 4600 lumen max output and 260 meter throw. So you gain 400 lumens with the new model and 10 meters to throw. So it's good. I mean, improvement's always good. And we'll kind of take a look to see. It's a little bit hard to translate that onto like a beam shot. 400 lumens sounds like a lot, but on video you might not be able to see it as much. But let's go ahead and take a look at the beam shots now. All right, guys, we're out here on the trail right now. We're going to go ahead and do some beam shots here at the Seeker 4. Now it is early in the morning, so the daylight is just kind of breaking. It'll probably be about an hour before it breaks, but let's go ahead and take a look at this Seeker 4. Now, as you can see here, you do get those dials. It indicates your battery brightness on the left and your battery on the right and your brightness on the left. Now, the cool thing about the Seeker 4 is you can actually rotate this dial and adjust the brightness before you turn the light on, which is something you couldn't do in the Seeker 3, so that's pretty cool. So let's go ahead and start out on, we're going to start on moonlight mode. So we're going to hold the button down here, and this here is moonlight. So as you can tell, even moonlight has quite a bit of light. You could definitely walk around, kind of see what's going on. We're going to kick it up to low mode. Here in low mode, plenty of light for just walking around. This is a pretty bright one just for this. We're going to go ahead and kick it up to medium. As you see, medium makes a pretty good jump. You start to see a little bit of definition, a little bit in the trees out there. Now, this isn't known for being a real far thrower, but it has some great spread on the beam. Somewhat close up. We're going to go ahead and kick it up to high. Now, here on high, you start to see a little bit farther down the trail. You can get some good definition on the trees. Perfect for hiking around. Now let's go ahead and kick it up into turbo mode. All right, here on turbo, you can definitely see a little bit farther down there. The trees are a lot easier to spot. This is the full 2600 lumens. Super bright. I don't know how well the camera is picking it up, but it is definitely bright out here. There's a lot of spill. I can see a lot of spill of light on my peripheral vision. I think it looks really good. Now, we're going to go ahead and kind of take a look at the Seeker 3 and the Seeker 4. So as you can see the dials, you can kind of see the difference between the two. Like I said, I can rotate this Seeker 3 all the time and it does not change the levels, versus that Seeker 4, I can rotate the dials and actually change the levels before I turn it on, which would be kind of handy. Say you had it on high when you were looking around outside and you got inside of like a tent, you could actually just turn it down before you turned it on so you didn't blind yourself in there. So what we're going to do is I'm going to have the Seeker 3 on my right hand and the Seeker 4 on my left hand. And I'm going to go ahead and fire up the turbos and see if you guys can notice a difference. So first we're going to go ahead and open up the Seeker 3. So this is turbo on the Seeker 3. And then this is turbo on the Seeker 4. So I don't know if you're going to be able to notice any difference on camera. If I was to turn them both on at the same time, Seeker 3 on the right hand, Seeker 4 on the left. I don't know if they're going to show any kind of difference on there. I mean, they're both super bright. In person, I don't see a huge difference. I do see a little bit more distance, it looks like, on the Seeker 4. Like I said, I don't know how well that's going to show up on camera. But yeah, that's just kind of a quick look at the beam on the Seeker 4 Pro. Overall, I'm pretty impressed. Now, just like normal, you can adjust this dial and just dial it in for how you want it to be. So I can just rotate the dial and go up and down. Super smooth, super quick. So you can kind of get those perfect levels of however you want it to be. But yeah, that's it for the beam test. Back to the review. All right, guys. So we just watched the beam shots. I'm actually filming this last little part almost a week after I did the beam shots. I kind of wanted to use it a little bit more. I actually had some night shifts that I did at work. And for my night shifts at work, I work about 50% of the time outside. So it was nice to be able to test it out a little bit more. I can say that the holster works good. I like it. It's got good retention. Now, one of the cons was going to be, I was going to say that I wish it was able to switch into horizontal carry. But it looks like Olight is going to have a horizontal holster for sale when this goes live. So that will be a pretty good option if you want to purchase that. And I think that'll probably be what I do. I just prefer horizontal carry. And one other really cool thing about this thing, about the holster that I found out, is when the light's in there, when you pull the light out, it automatically unlocks it. So it's ready to go, which is a super cool function versus the old one. When you pulled it out of the holster, you had to spin the dial to get it unlocked. So I really like the fact that when you pull it out of the holster, it's ready to go. No spinning the dial. You know, that saves a lot of time. And then I kind of touched on it a little bit in the beam shots, but the adjustability is good. You know, you can go anywhere between low mode and medium mode. You could, you know, pick whatever level in there. You know, if you want some kind of light level between medium and high, you know, you can dial it in exactly how you want it with this dial, which is a super cool function. The Seeker 3 had that function, but it's easier to see where you're at, you know, with the Seeker 4 with the new dial. So yeah, I mean, I think it's great. Nothing against the Seeker 3. I think Seeker 3 was a great light, still is a great light. You know, the Seeker 4 just has a little bit better options in my opinion. And so I'll upgrade to this one. This will be the one that I stick in the vehicle. For me, it's mostly a vehicle carry light. Quick story, about 8 months ago, I was driving at night. I got a flat tire, and I wasn't prepared because I wasn't really going anywhere. I was just driving around town. And out of all the Olights that I own, the only Olight that I had with me was a IR2 Pro on my keychain. So I was still able to change the tire with that light, but it was not as convenient as it could have been. So originally that's why I picked up the Seeker 3, was to have kind of a dedicated vehicle light. Plus I like to go fishing, so a lot of times, depending on what time of the year it is, it's dark early in the morning and it stays dark for a little bit. So I always had it in the vehicle. I could take it with me when I went fishing. And so that'll be what the Seeker 4 Pro does. That's why I was kind of excited to install the mount in my personal vehicle. That way, when I do go out fishing or I do drive around at night, if I get a flat or I go fishing or camping or whatever, this is always there. Easy to charge. I don't have to bring any magnetic cables with me. I just got to have a USB-C. And so I like that about this. Other than that, that's about all I really got for the review. I hope that you guys all at least take a look at them for sale in the ad, or in the for sale on the website. I'm sure they'll probably have some bundles, so you know, take a look. And it looks like this one's going to be available also in a neutral white variant. Now I will have a 10% discount code in the description, but just a disclaimer, that discount code will not work for sale items. So if you see that down there, you can't use it for the sale. But if you want to go back after the sale and pick it up later, you can always use that 10% discount. Other than that, that's all I got for you guys today. Thanks a lot for checking it out, and I'll talk to you later.